Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So today is going to be another video about Claude Design, and I'm going to give you 6 use cases that you can use specifically for your architecture firm. And so let's just jump in right now. So the first one here is going to be a design brief or initial questionnaires. If you haven't used Claude Design yet, make sure to go watch my previous videos, because in those previous videos, we explain how to use Claude Design and how to generate design systems. That you really want to watch that one. Just the overview. Once you go to the Claude.ai, then you get here, and then you will come here to the left side. You get to Claude Design. So Claude Design, one more time, it's pretty much mostly dedicated for applications, web design, UI, UX design, but you can also give it use cases for architecture, just because it's really good at generating templates and other visual, let's call it, forms. So as a business, I think it's really good, and it has a very good use cases for architecture. So this is the UI, and normally here the design systems is where you want to create your flow. Like you want to create here your, let's call it, you're in Claude normally when you have something like projects. Here's where it is kind of like the projects for Claude Design, where you want to create your brand. And here's where you explain Claude Design, like, hey, these are my colors, this is my palette, these are the fonts I want to use. And once you have that in place, then you can use then it's better to use the use cases I'm going to give you, because now Claude Design already has a context in place of how your firm, like whether what's your logo and where are those things. So I'm already going to utilize here that I have one as a reference. So what I'm going to be doing, the thing you want to do for the first use case, I created a resource here, and I'm going to download it you can download it in the description below. I'm going to put a link to it. And all these are just prompts that you can just use from scratch. And these red text that you see here, these are variables. So these are things that you can exchange, like you should change to whatever your need is, as far as the project type, as far as the name of the organization, an address, budget, things like that. So the only thing you have to do in the resource, once you download it or you have it open in Google Docs, you just copy this one. Of course, change a little bit on the red thing, which is the variable. So kind of make it apply to you or your company. So for you to create your first form or prototype, in this case initial questionnaire, we're just gonna come here, go to prototype, go to new prototype, and let's call it design brief test 2. But okay, so now we're gonna create one. I'm gonna use the Guy Academy design, right? I have a few here. You can either use a wireframe or the high fidelity. Think about this as whenever you're doing a visual, or you're doing, like, if you're, I think the best example to do this is the difference between doing a prompt with fast mode versus thinking mode, right? So one of them is going to be faster, it's going to consume less tokens and things like that, but it's going to be more like fast. The other one is going to take its time, it's going to be a little more polished. So depending on where you are, if you're just testing something, you can just go and do wireframe. If you want something a little more polished and you don't mind taking a little bit more time, you want to do high fidelity, go for final fidelity. So let's just go to high fidelity. In this case, I'm going to say create. I think the best results I found is whenever you come here, you click on design systems, you add the design systems that you wanna utilize. Then you have a screenshot or something of a website or something that you really like. That's also good. You have a code base, you have a Figma file. But let's be honest, if you're an architecture firm, most likely you're not gonna have a code base or a Figma file. You might have a screenshot of a form. So if you have already a form that works for you that you would like Claude Design to replicate, then you just upload that as a screenshot here. In this case, I'm going to bring the form here. I'm going to bring the text that we copied, right? So I give it like persona, I give it context, and I'm giving all the formula it needs. And then I'm going to click set. And so think about it like when you are doing AI renderings and things like that, like a lot of times the AI has become so good now that now it can give you final renderings. But when, let's say, Midjourney or other AI tools started with visualization, it took a few years for it to get from ideation to rendering. So right now we're in a point, the same with Claude Design, in my opinion, where right now it's great for ideation, but it's still not great for final production. So in my opinion, this is great for ideation. So you might want to get a really nice product here that you can show to your designer or your graphic designer and say like, hey, this is something that I really like. Let's just get into these fonts or into these colors. I really like the layout of this template. Fine. But I think a year or two from now, it will be able to give you some final production. Great. And here's the design brief. Again, a lot of the layouts that you're going to see, the black and the gray and the oranges, that's part of the design system, part of the brand that I gave it. So as you can see, the thing I really find useful is already, you see how it has my name there, like the name of the company. It has my logo here. It has the colors of the branding. It has the fonts of the company. Along here, it has questions. It has questions and answers that you can add. Now, of course, you can tweak it, right? You can tweak here or you can edit here, saying like, hey, I want less questions. So that's the first use case as far as creating the initial brief. Now we're going to go to the next one. On this one here, we're going to go to a client survey. So this is mostly whenever like you already have finished the services for client. So you just want to kind of get feedback from the client on how satisfied they are and if there's anything way you can improve and things like that. So this one here, we're going to call initial survey. Client review survey. Client review survey. And we're going to give it the same design system, right? So you guys can see how it's keeping the layout. And just so you know, every time you create one of these ones, is going to save it in the designed section. So here you see how the previous one is saved in there. So we're going to do, again, this time I'm going to do wireframe, so you kind of see what's the difference between wireframe and Fidelity as far as the quality. So I'm going to go create. I'm going to, again, design system. You want to make sure that you grab the one that you have created. In this case, I'm going to do the Gaia. Again, if you have a screenshot, even better if you already have a reference that you want to give it. And that will be even more powerful if you give that. But other than that, then you copy the prompt and then you click send. Great. So that's how we created the survey. So as you can see, it's keeping the same colors. Now, of course, there's things that I would like to edit eventually. You know, I can go to edit and tell like, hey, I want the logo, actually the Gaia logo in there. You can go edit here. You can click on it and you can change it. You can say, hey, I need the logo in there. Like here, you can actually edit the colors, as you can see. Then here, as you can say here, you say like, how well did the final delivered projects align? You can say 3. You can say 4. So the great thing is that it gives you something is like iterative. Something to consider though, that this is a HTML. So you need to kind of find a way to export this if you want the same use case. It's always good to have something written eventually to kind of get an assessment of where you're getting clients, what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths. So now we're going to go to the project proposal. So here, again, this is something that you can do, kind of what we did before. We're going to do copy paste this. And now we're going to go back here. So once you have this here, you can click on this on the right and the left side button. You see how it saved the previous project. So now I'm going to say here, project proposal test 2. Then I'm going to use the design system here. So we're going to call it proposal test 2, create. Great. Again, design systems, we want to make sure it grabs that one. So you see how it kind of generates these ones here. Here, you can also see how it already has pre-made like little, like, let's call it tags. So if for whatever reason you don't want one of them, that's fine, right? So here already has the design system. So I didn't have to put this one. And it has high fidelity design, iterative prototype. So again, if you want to take out the iterative, then that's fine too. You want to say PDF instead. I wonder if so let's just take the iterative out and see what it gives me if I take that out. Import. Great. And this is what I got. You can say, as you can see, the design, whenever you go to high fidelity instead of wireframe, is more polished, right? So you can see how the difference now, I actually have a logo. I actually, like just in general, it just seems cleaner. You have my name, you have the address, you have construction budget, TBD, right? You have a cover statement, you have an understanding scope. So this is a great thing because not just gives you the information on the background of Charleston and it kind of, gives all that, an understanding of scope and all those things, but it also gives you ideas, right? So whenever you're creating your own proposal, now you have background of what you can say, understanding on the scope in a nice formal way, understanding how you can divide this into different things. So instead of just giving somebody just like a plain letter that is just plain, now you have this very nice setup, right? And then you can come here and edit it, right? You can come here and edit your text, right? You want to add more text, you can want to add less text, you want to tweak something, you say change, provide palette of color. So yeah, so this one here is a great project proposal. So let's go to the next one. So for this next one, again, I'll tell you guys, go to the resources and you can copy paste these in this other one here. So this one here is going to be 11 by 17 template RFP that we're going to use for presentations. So you can say 11 by 17 RFP template. So let's see what we get, right? So I'm going to keep again the same thing here, and let's say then we do the prompt, right? Okay, let's just say that. So with that, I'm going to go here and press send, and we'll see what we get. Great. So this is what we got. And as you can see, this is actually pretty nice. Like you have 11 by 17, right? Of course, there's things that I need a little revision, right? But you have the logo, you have a really nice layout, right? With colors, branding, fonts. I mean, as far as idea goes, I really like a project name on this side. I mean, this is something that I feel like now, I'm not sure quite if it's actually 11 by 17 format. I don't think it's respecting that necessarily. If I do tabloid, yeah. So, well, you see, like it's actually kind of respecting. It's quite not there yet. I mean, you can tell like it's not doing a perfect job. But as you understand, like I think where the technology is right now, it's to give you really good ideas from there. You can of course tweak it, edit it, but it's a really good first pass to a point where like you can really get a good ideas on how can your template look like. Okay, so with that being said, let's go to the next one. And this next one here is going to be a letter, right? A letter for RFP. So not the presentation, but a letter. So what you do here, again, you copy paste that. You fill the variables here. We go up again to this one here. We say RFP letter test 2, and we're gonna what for high fidelity Guy Academy. Yeah, that was great. I think I don't have to do this because it already has the Guy Academy in there, so you don't have to redo that. So I'll copy paste that here, and I will just do send, and let's see what we get. And this is what we got. Okay, so as you can see, again, you start really understanding the power of this tool, where it's really meant for like really good like setups, like templates and things that you can look. So a lot of these things you can take and save and put it in Claude projects as a reference file. So how you want things to look. You can give these to your designer and say like, hey, this is the UI, like this is the kind of how I want things to look like as far as fonts, as far as the layouts and things like that. So it's great. And then here you can have you have even a button here that you can just go and print it. So yeah, that's for the letters. So now with that being said, let's go to the last one here. The last one here is going to be a professional communication letter. So that's something that you will send to someone in a PDF or something. In this case, it's going to be a transmittal form, right? So we go back again here and let's call it letter of transmittal test 2. And again, same thing, you're going to take the design system, you're going to keep it here. We're going to do high fidelity. We're going to create. You don't even have to do anything here. Again, best thing is if you have add context here, even better, where you can give visual reference. And then we're going to press send. Okay, and this is what we got. So you get the little transmittal here. And as you can see, like everything in general, it's pretty good. Again, it's just one page, it's very concise. I will say, hey, if you want things to look at it, you can edit it. And then from here, you can edit any text, right? Which that's the great thing about this. You can print the document. You can tweak it saying like, let's say the letterhead needs different colors. And this is the great thing I like about tweaks is just whenever you tell that, you see how he brought like a palette here. And from there, you can really start changing colors. And that's the point of tweaks. You can actually change colors and things like that. So with that, we've in the end of this. So if you want to grab the resources, make sure to go to the link below. If you like the video, please like and subscribe and let me know what other topics you would like to see. But I hope you guys like these series on Claude Design.